Yo everybody, this is Master Games 22 and welcome back to the Lunchbox. I am here today doing a raw reaction and I guess overview on a video that dropped today, which happens to be Paper Mario the Origami King. This dropped this morning, probably like around, I'd say 8 p.m. And man, like I gotta say, first off, when I even found out about this video, how it happened was I was scrolling through my Twitter feed, and I was also going through Facebook, and basically first I saw on Twitter something talking about a new Paper Mario game, and I was in the mindset of people keep talking about this Paper Mario game coming, but we most likely need to wait a lot longer. I don't know why these are discussions. I didn't even bother like really checking into the article that was talking about it. Then when I went onto my Facebook, I noticed that there was actually people posting it too, specifically in like one of the little groups I'm in. It was like a N64 group or whatever. And I was like, man, this is getting ridiculous now. Why are we making these jokes? So I decided, you know what? Sure, Paper Mario the Origami King. It didn't sound like a real thing. And so I went to YouTube, and lo and behold, I see that probably like 30 minutes ago, a video was posted for Paper Mario the Origami King. So I'm like, is this real or am I half asleep? Because I actually didn't really get that much sleep, but that's a whole nother story. But yeah, I was looking at it and I was like, nah, this can't be real. So I stopped everything I was doing. No, first I clicked on it to see if I was like seeing the right thing, or if it was like a past Mario game that was coming back, like Color Splash. And then when I clicked on it, I realized it was a real thing, and I had to go ahead and watch it. And man, let me tell you, from the very beginning, I felt like this was an actual Paper Mario game that I have been waiting for, or at least close to it. This is probably the closest Paper Mario that we're going to be getting for years now towards what we originally loved and have been looking for, which is Paper Mario and Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. So, man, my impressions of it, I don't know what it is, but I love it. No, actually, there are a number of things that I can say that I love about it. Just looking at it, alright, hold on. First off, let's just go ahead and talk about that gameplay. No, I guess we could start off with the story. So the story, already from the beginning, seems dark, right? We have Mario at Peach's castle, and all of a sudden, Peach is coming through the door, but it's not Peach, or at least it doesn't really look like Peach. She's in a weird shape, and she's asking these weird questions like, would you like to crease yourself with me? And then you like get the option to choose what exactly you wanna actually do, say yes or no. That's probably like a early game thing where if you say yes, you lose. But then at the same time, I did see an instance where she said, right or wrong, doesn't matter. You're still thin. Or paper thin or something like that. But things, and then she just says goodbye. So like, it already has like this type of dark theme going on. And it's funny that they went with that, because I feel like that's kind of like a shout out to Paper Mario Thousand Year Door in a way, with how Princess Peach, spoiler alert if you haven't played the game, ends up being the final boss because she's possessed by this demon. So like, it's a dark type of mythology going on here for this game from the get-go. And then they're showing some like crazy scenes that are happening in the background, and the floor opens up on Mario. You see Bowser is like folded up into something, and then you see like this villain that looks like he's gonna be the main villain of the game, which I know a lot of people are happy about because we've had Bowser as the villain for the past 2 Paper Mario games, which has been very frustrating. But I just want to go down a list real quick on what exactly it is that I've seen in this game actually has been very hype for me personally. So the first time that I watched it, I was taken in by the fact that we saw Peach essentially being dark and stuff in terms of the stuff that she was saying and the theme and all. But then I also was kind of like, oh wait, but this is gonna be more like Color Splash. When I looked further in, and I think it started when I saw the battle system. That's when I truly started to realize that there was some callbacks coming to the older games, like, well, the actual OG games. So in the battle system, I noticed that it seems that you have moves not set to be item based, because like in the other games, they were the other past 2 games, you had to use stickers, or you had to use paint to color up something, color up a move, and then you can use it and stuff. Those Color Splash did it a little bit better. Sticker Star was terrible with it, but I think those might be gone in this, because when I looked deeper in, and so I looked at pictures as well, I saw that you have the hammer and the jump, right? But they don't seem to be set to being like one use moves, right? It actually seems like you can do it like the originals and you can use them as much as you want. But there also was a scene where I saw Mario using like a shiny jump or something like that, which is homage to Sticker Star. But I think that they might have like a badge system. It might not actually be badges, but I think they might have something similar to that, because like the menu for choosing your attacks apparently seems to have like a rows. And when I look back at what Paper Mario, like the first one, did, and of course the second one too, but if you look back at the first one, it had like little rows where you could like, where more stuff like could like go and sit in there, or it would just expand as you add more stuff to it with the badges that you equip. And that's, I know that might be just like a loose theory right there that I'm giving, but it kind of seems like you might be able to like equip abilities towards these moves and then like utilize them. The only question with that is, how would it exactly work? Because like in Paper Mario 1 and Paper Mario 2, I'm just going to say that for now. I know they have their respective names, but yeah. The thing with those games is that they used a MP system, or flower power if you want to be more specific. You utilize that, and you have to refill it back in order to use those special moves. But with using the special moves, you can do more damage to enemies and so forth. I don't know. It seems pretty viable that could be the case, or maybe it sadly would be that you have to buy the extra moves. I'm hoping that they don't take that direction, but if they do, I'm not gonna be too mad with it, because at least you'll still have the regular jump and hammer. It's just buy to win really kind of sucks to me in an RPG. I'd like if they brought back items, though. I definitely would. That'd be cool to see that you like. I'm cool with the idea of buying like little items to use, like the flower, the fire flower. I can see that being cool and fine to let it be that you get that, and then Mario can use a fire flower, and then he turns into Fire Mario, and he can throw fireballs and stuff. And there's action commands to that. I'm actually okay with that, but I don't want that to be essentially everything. I'd like if there was like a type of badge system also incorporated, or something similar to it, you know? But regardless, I think that they are taking a better direction with that. Another thing though that I feel that they're calling back to is the fact that I noticed in the game so far, from what we've seen, it seems like there are party characters that are back into the fray. And there's been rumors about this for a minute now, that Paper Mario would have like party members back and stuff, and they're trying to get back to their roots. So they might have found a way to somehow incorporate the party members in a way. Now, valid, if I'm correct, these party members aren't going to be really that unique. They're just going to be, I don't know what it is lately, but they've been so generic when it came to character types. Like the character, don't get me wrong, the characters are interesting in terms of their dialogue, but when it comes to their actual look, they don't really look that unique. Like you see a blue toad and you'll be like, oh, hey blue toad, or hey red toad, or hey yellow toad, and so on and so forth. And then Goomba, and then also Goomba, and Goomba. Like, you know, they have that type of joking type of mentality going on when it comes to the series lately, and I really don't truly enjoy that. But with that being said, it still does seem like they're incorporating a party system where you can utilize multiple characters. And even if you look at the, what was it? I think it was like cover art or something like that. I saw cover art or something. But it looks like you'll be utilizing a Toad. You'll be utilizing a Bomb-Omb. You'll be utilizing a Magic Koopa. And probably a few more other characters. Most likely a Goomba. I saw a Hammer Burrow in there. So like, the possibilities are kind of endless in terms of that you'll be utilizing Bowser's army, or, you know, minions to assist you in battle. Which, mind you, Bowser seems like he's going to be on your side for this game, which I'm always cool with. I love Mario and Luigi, Bowser's Inside Story. I know that's a completely different game, but regardless, it still hit the levels that I was looking for in Paper Mario when it pretty much went off track. Which, sadly enough, the Mario and Luigi games did too, but that's a whole nother topic for another day. But yeah, looking closer, you can see that it seems like you can like utilize their abilities in battle. I'm not gonna sit here and say that you can like fully control them like in the original games, but it seems like you can push a button and their ability will either like buff you maybe, or maybe you can actually attack with them. I think that's the concept that they're trying to go for. You push the button, and depending on who you have equipped, or if you can possibly switch while in battle. I don't know if it's gonna be that you have to switch before battle or while in battle, but I'm gonna go off the method that they're gonna have it where you have to switch before you get into battle. You can utilize each character's special ability to either attack or buff your character, or who knows, maybe get a bonus of coins or items and stuff in that. Regardless, that is a huge one-up from what it has been for the past 2 games that have recently came out. It also seems like you'll be able to utilize the new character. I don't know the name of the new character yet. I'm gonna assume that it's an Origami princess or a Origami queen. I don't know. That's what I'm gonna go with, which isn't really new for Paper Mario, because you've always been able to utilize the person who gives extra dialogue in all the past Mario games. That's a fact. Can't deny that. But I don't know. I have a feeling that you might be able to do a little bit more than you could with the past ones. Like, I think for Sticker Star and Color Splash, I think it was literally the same thing. You can like use the new character that assists you along the way to buff up the stickers and stuff. But I think this one you might be able to use the Princess Origami or the Origami Princess to actually like attack enemies and such. So that actually is giving me a lot of hope right there for something a little more interesting. Or it could just be a power-up, who knows. I hope they do something interesting with that.
Getting back to it though, another thing that I noticed in the battle system is it seems like the ring that you'll be fighting in is gonna be like the main battle system for the game, where you rotate these lines to fight a lot of different enemies, because it's basically almost like a 3D battle, because like you'll have some enemies on one side of you and then you'll have some enemies on another side, and you can pretty much line up the enemies so you can get a good amount of attacks on multiple enemies. So it seems like a type of line and attack system, and that actually seems kind of interesting. But also what makes it even greater is the fact that I think there's a time system too. Now, I never would have thought that I'd be hoping for that necessarily in our Paper Mario game, but Paper Mario's always had this type of thin line of being similar to like a JRPG. It just had more action-based controls within the battle system. And with this one, it seems like they're trying to pull a little more from the JRPGs with an active battle system, where there's a time limit before the other enemies can attack, or you have a time limit to set up your set up the ring where you can get the most damage on a lot of enemies, like if you're dealing with a lot of enemies and stuff. I don't know if you can like choose where you want to go and attack, or if they have to be lined up to you. I truly don't know. But regardless, the tension that would produce doing a time system like that could definitely make the game a lot more fun and challenging. And that's something that, once again, the past 2 Mario games that recently came out have been lacking. Challenge. It's very easy to take care of enemies if you just can buy everything and defeat them, no problem that way. Now, if you have it, you don't want it to be where you also have to have something specific to take down a boss or enemy. Otherwise, it's impossible. That's not fun either. it needs to be balanced. You can throw some things in there that, yes, may be more effective against certain enemies, but don't make it be that you're hopeless if you don't have those things, or practically hopeless without it. But anyway, we got a time system, and it looks like you can also use coins to increase the time if you need to, which is also a good way to incorporate using the money and its uses in the game, besides just buying items, you know? So that's what I have to say on the battle system. Now, if we go further in with the game, there's a couple other things that I noticed. So, for one, the world seems very interesting. They I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm overlooking, or maybe I'm just realizing the depth that they put in. But every world that I've seen so far looks very interesting, and I really love that. I don't necessarily know if that's something that's gonna fall through for all the other worlds we have to see, but like they look very lush and beautiful. Like there's a section with the trees that I was looking at it and I was like, wow, like that looks almost like real trees, yet they used paper. Like something that I think that and it still is slightly an issue in this game for me, but something that I feel that Paper Mario has been lacking in for a minute was the fact that I really don't like how the latest Paper Mario games keep making you look at the world being made of paper crafts, and like they also have that incorporated into the gameplay, and sometimes even the story fully relies on it, like way too heavily. Like we get it, all right? Like Paper Mario it really is more than that. Like for segments in the older games, having a page flip or stuff falling down and collapsing into a bridge, or even having Mario turn into a paper airplane, those little concepts were funny and cool. How subtle they would add it in. But this one and definitely all the past ones, they focus way too heavily on the paper concept rather than the story. Because the worlds in the past Paper Mario games, I have to say, look more authentic than this and the past two other ones, because of the fact that they didn't rely on that stuff. They made the world seem active and real, and they just had it where, oh, your characters are paper. So it was almost like a pop-up book. You know, you're moving the character with a little pull string for the pop-ups, and you make them do stuff and all that in the real Mario worlds and such. But as of recent, there's less of that. It's more, like I think I remember in Sticker Star, they had it where one of your counters, or it wasn't even a counter actually, it was just a freaking sticker that you can apply, would make Mario fold up into a spike. And while it's cool in concept, it just was just driving home so heavy the fact that everything was made out of paper or a sticker. And I feel like that's not necessarily something we need to do in these Paper Mario games. Like, something that I appreciate is that when you jump on the Goombas in this game, you actually see them. You actually see them puff into smoke like in the actual 3D Mario games. Whereas in Sticker Star, you'll see them either rip apart, or in Color Splash, you see the color leave their body and then they just dip off the screen. Like, it's not as satisfying seeing stuff like that compared to seeing them like actually disappear or explode, which might sound a little extra to be doing, but like it drives home the fact that this is still Paper Mario. This isn't like some type of kid book that you're looking at, and I guess that varies to a person's opinion regardless. But here it's being done, but like I feel like it's not being done as much, and they're kind of still trying to make the world still look pretty authentic to like a real live Mario world, or at the very least just a real world, you know, making it interesting, and not in the weird way where you have like a freaking fan blowing in the background that's causing everything to shimmer, which might show up again. It might, but I feel like this isn't the direction that they're aiming to go for.
That's pretty much it. I honestly probably said more than I needed to. But
the main thing that I have to say is that this Paper Mario gives me hope. It really does. I feel like I said the same thing with Color Splash, I know. But with Color Splash, it was more so when I saw like that first trailer, which once again, this is just the first trailer. But when I saw the first trailer, looking at the world, I was like, oh wow, this is going back to like this looks like a really nice Paper Mario game coming out. And it looks like it might possibly follow a interesting design. But this one, I've seen like a little more in depth, and there's also some videos online, if y'all haven't seen it, that showcases Paper Mario, the Origami King's gameplay better, and it gives me a better idea of what I can expect. It hasn't shown us everything. The video is only 20 seconds long that I saw of battle gameplay, but this, I tell you, there's two things that I feel like there's really two things that truly make up a good Paper Mario game: the battle system and the story. And so far, I really am liking what they're doing with the story, and I really like what they're doing with the battle system. They already threw in something that kind of half-heartedly, but something that I have been waiting for the series to get back to, and that's having party members. I've been waiting forever for that, and I'm glad that it seems like it's coming back. And it also seems like they're not focusing too heavy, not gonna say not at all, too heavy on the whole paper mechanic. Even though it's kind of thrown in our face heavy right at the beginning, after you see that there's this Origami King that's taking over Peach's castle. But yeah, those are my raw impressions on the game. There's more info that will come out most likely by the time this video is out, and there's probably going to be people that find more stuff that I couldn't see. But at the end of the day, I'm looking forward to this. And on top of that, you know what's the craziest part? This game is coming out in literally 2 months. To be more specific, I think that's like 8 weeks. Is it? I don't know. It comes out the 17th though. I can tell you that much. The 17th of July, I believe. Yeah, the 17th of July. So, not gonna drag this on any longer than I did. Like I said, I meant to make this kind of short, but I just had to do my little gush on the game. Game looks fun, looks promising, hoping for a number of things to make it in. hoping for things to not be pushed too hard to the limit. Great job, Nintendo. You got my hopes up. Please don't shatter my dreams with this game. Like, we need something really nice to look forward to, and this could truly be it if it's done right. So that's all I'm gonna say. I'm Master Games 22, and if you didn't know, you should always stay lunchable. Catch y'all later. Peace.